Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bahashim, Rachal Kodash. That belongs to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim to Zadakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. I'm the priest Shaman. This week's topic is going to be entitled, Before you make a major decision, seek counsel. Before you make a major decision, seek counsel. Now, this is what the world would say. The universe has been showing me a bunch of signs. Well, the spirit has been leading me to a bunch of things. Just so happening around me to sort of do a topic on this lesson. So, I think it would, I think there's a brother out there that might need this, or brothers out there that might need this. I was watching different things. Most notable, I'm gonna get to the lesson. Most notable Game of Thrones that made it fresh in my mind about this topic was, the king lost his son. I'm not gonna give away too much, but then he got extremely emotional and was doing like he was a very young king, but he has a hand or a counselor that is very experienced, old, wiser man, and he was giving him counsel and shit on how to be a king. But when he lost his kid, he completely went AWOL. And someone said in the show, that when people of power make bad decisions, it's the small people that suffer. So we're kings. You're a king. You're a king in your own kingdom, all right? You're a king of your spirit, for lack of better words, all right? So when you make a particular decision, just think of who it might impact, namely, first and foremost, yourself and those around you. All right, so this is the book of Proverbs 15 and 12. It says, without counsel, purposes are disappointed, but in the multitude of counselors, they are established, right? So make sure your counselors are wise counselors, all right? Have preferably people of experience when you seek counsel, but don't, look, you wouldn't go to an outright just nigga in the world, all right? That I'm not saying you should not use counsel of people in the world, because there are people in the world that could teach you things, and you can learn from, and you can speak about, all right, because they've also been through things, all right? But this is what the brotherhood is also for, all right? And this is why the apostles and elders are raising up also us to be leaders, all right? That when brothers come to you for counsel, you're given sound, unbiased, well, not unbiased, but unemotional, really, judgment. You want it to also be unbiased, of course. And the same thing also, when you're receiving counsel, you should have an open ear, right? You shouldn't be like, well, I've been in this thing X amount of years, so I'm not going to listen to a man that's been in it less than me, that type of spirit. You look at the situation with Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, with Ahab being killed. Now, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai had counsel on his left and his right hand side, hearing out both. Now, we know that Yahweh doesn't need counsel. It's the Most High. The Most High doesn't need any counsel. However, that account shows us that the Lord is saying, look, this is how I do things, okay? Even though I'm the greatest entity in the whole entire everything, all right? Look how I do things, all right? And he shows us that he hears out both sides and listens to counsel. And again, a deeper understanding, we know that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is controlling both counsel, but the point of the story, or the point of the example I'm giving with the account, is that we see in that even the Most High says, look, I'm going to use a counsel, all right? And that was a very important decision, right? So anytime you're about to make a huge decision, don't make it in haste. A lot of times when we do things in haste, when our emotions are heightened, all right, we make decisions that could impact us, for the rest of our lives, all right? So don't be hasty in that, man. Proverbs 11 and 14 reads, it says, where no counsel is, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors, there is safety, right? So when you win this truth, you build relationship with brothers. Some relationships tighter than others. When I say tight, I mean you could disclose certain things to one brother that you might not be able to disclose to another brother, right? But you build that sort of friendship to where, you know, you could seek to a brother to get that counsel, because when the brother is hearing out the situation, he's gonna be able to rationalize it a bit more, because, you know, sometimes, again, we're so fucking pissed off. We go, yo, Ak, you know this fucking bitch, or you know, you're in the heat of your emotions. But that brother isn't. That brother might say, look, hey, hold on, cool down, Ak, like, you know, and then start to rationalize some sense back into you. And then when you calm down, you can speak to him and maybe another brother, and oh shit, you know what? I was right. You was right on that. At the end of the day, we're our own men, you know, so we're gonna make particular this. At the end of the day, again, just like the Game of Thrones thing, he said, at the end of the day, you're the king, so you could choose whether or not to take that counsel, right? So, you know, it's just seeking out advice. The scriptures also in Ecclesiastes, the 4th chapter, tells you 2 is better than 1, right? Because when one falls, there's one there to help him. So this is why you want to have a multitude of counselors, okay? Again, preferably those with experience, all right? They say good judgment come from experience, and experience comes from bad judgment. So a lot of times when you see people that have experience, that's been doing whatever the situation requires for a very long time, not only will you see that they've been through it, but they've also seen the outcomes of not doing the right way, all right? So you don't have to make that mistake, all right? I remember one of the things I speak on when I first came into truth, all right, my mistakes was I did a lot of decisions that was kind of like YOLO. Not like YOLO, but like, you know, we're going to be out of here. So I just made some decisions that weren't very long. It was very short-sighted, you know what I'm saying? But the short-sighted mistakes had long-term effects. So when you also come in as truth, you have to count the cost, right? Because it's a war. Proverbs 20:18. Every purpose is established by counsel, and with good advice make war. So every counsel is established. Every purpose is established with counsel, and with good advice make war. So we're at war with a lot of things, all right? We're at war with ourselves. We're at war with those around us, all right? You might get into it with people at work, your family, hey, even another brother, right? That's war. Before you go to war, seek counsel, because a lot of times the war might not be worth it, you know? That's how women are. Women are very impulsive, right? Because they can't rule their emotions. They will end a family, break up a relationship over the most dumbest shit because of their short-sighted emotional irrationality that will have catastrophic long-term effects on her, those around her. I'm just giving an example, okay? So that's how we don't want to be. We don't want to be slaves to our emotions, all right? But we do get emotional. We're all humans, right? So in that state of emotion, maybe walk away, catch a deep breath, talk to somebody about it that you can relate to, or that's close to you, that you can share that level of information with, and seek them out, man. You know, like I said, those with experience is the best, man. You know, when I was young, my dad would tell me things too, but my mom, there's a lot of times she used to tell me things and I would just not do it. I was very young. I'd be like, no, and be combative. And every time, fast forward 2 years later, 3 years later, 4 years, Mom, you're right. Mom, you're right. She always said, she's like, Nigel, see, you always get older, and I'd be like, Mom, you're right. So now when I speak to my mother about something, I definitely want to hear what she's gonna say, you know, because now I get it from all them trials and errors, you know. So don't be like, it's a woman, man. That's a fucking woman out. Nah, bro, just hear out both sides, man. You know, listen. Hear things from another point of view, all right, that you might not see, and that, you know, you have to have humility in that, okay? Some brothers have kids, man, right? I'm not saying take the counsel from your kid, but sometimes, you know, a kid might say some shit, you're like, holy shit, that kind of flew off my head. So always be open, have an open ear, all right, to those around you, right? You never know what you can learn. They say the game of life is the game of everlasting learning. Proverbs 19:20. It says, hear counsel, right? Don't buck up against counsel. Hear counsel. If you ever been brought to counsel or ever in a counsel, a lot of it should be listening. You know, listening. I've been brought to counsel. Shit. I shut the fuck up and I said, shit, man, I went off right there. You just listen. You know, you listen and then, okay, that's because sometimes, bro, we be doing wicked shit and we can't even spot it. Like, it sounds, I'm not even trying to say like a lack of accountability type thing, but you like, holy shit, I had to really catch myself, man. But another brother caught it for you. So that's what our counsel is there. It says 19 and 20, hear the counsel and receive instruction. Hey, King David said, let the righteous smite me in Psalms 141 and 5, because I know it shall be an ointment unto my head. So hear the counsel of the wise. The scriptures also says the words of the wise are as golds, like the ox goad. The ox goad that's used to stick the horse or prick the horse. Remember, Yahweh Shai told Peter, why kickest thou against the prick? Why are you kicking against the ox goad? The words of the wise might poke you and sting you, but it's ultimately to guide you in the right direction. Okay, so also when you go to counsel or get counsel on the matter, be willing to prepare yourself, all right, for things you might not want to hear. Okay. It says, hear counsel and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end. Yeah, you gotta hark. If you have counsel with multiple different brothers and they all tell you the same thing without even knowing that they're all saying the same thing, then that's a good sign. You should be listening to that. Scriptures also tell you, force not the course of the river. Okay, don't go up like my man Blade said. You always got a motherfucker always trying to ice skate uphill. Why try to swim against a roaring river? If the spirit is flowing in this particular direction and saying, look, go this way, I got all my men telling you to go this way, why the hell would you zig when you're supposed to zag? You get what I'm saying? So, yeah. What did I just read? That was, okay. Let's cancel that. Okay, so that was Proverbs 19 and 20. Okay, so that was all of it. I got another precept in the book of Sirach here. Let me go to that. Close with that. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25, verse 4. It says, oh, how comely a thing, comely like it's beautiful. How comely a thing is judgment for gray hairs. Let me read that again. Oh, how comely a thing is judgment for gray hairs, and for ancient men to know counsel. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, because you have, you know, the scriptures tell you that the gray hair comes not by just length of age, right? Meaning, you know, some you have old fools, but when you're around old men that have wisdom and know counsel, it's a beautiful thing. And I want to say this first and foremost to apostles and elders, but brothers, this also apply, you know, again, to individuals in the world, right? You might have your grandparents or what have you. I'll tell you something. The job I'm at now, I'm the youngest manager on the job. All the other managers have been doing this thing longer than I've been alive. And I've been in operations where me and the managers were about the same age. And it's just how different they did things, you know, like there's just so much counsel in the decision making and patience. Like, even when you talk to them, I'd be excited, I'd be like happy, because I'm like, yo, I'm just seeing them stop, and they stop and they think. And they really think before they speak. And it's just like, yo, you just see a huge, drastic difference, man. You know, and I tell them that. I'm like, look, man, that's one of the most things I'm appreciative with this job I'm on, is the experience I'm around. You know, guys has been doing this longer than I've been alive. You know, you brothers know too. You got brothers that's in construction. You might be around a guy that's on the job that's been doing this thing longer than you. Like, he could share a lot about the job, like a lot of things, man. Hey, Elder Bishop Onatazak, I remember I think he was talking about something like this with experience. He was like, he could tell when a guy's new to the job, because he'll come up with a job with a tool belt full of shit that he don't even need. When the job probably just required like a screwdriver and, you know what I mean? Probably like 2 tools. So, you know, you could, you know, that it's just different when you're around those with experience, and you could learn something, man. So it is a beautiful thing, as the scripture says, and that again, that's what this thing is for. This is why, brothers, we don't want to just sit around and just twiddle our thumbs, you know, waiting for the Lord to come back. We're being built up to be leaders and judges, you know, and a part of that encompasses responsibility. So we should be able to embrace responsibilities, learn, and then teach from experience. 25. Oh, how comely is the wisdom of old men, and understanding and counsel to men of honor. Right? So, man, that's a nice one. How beautiful is the wisdom of old men, right? Because just hearing that experience, and you know, like I said, I'm using my job in this particular situation because I could go, you know, with something new and just boom, 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 that response. But also what I realized too is, if these men don't know, and again, doing this thing for many years, they'll have a humble spirit about it. They'll have a humble, like, you know, look, I'm going to ask the question. I'm asking because I don't know. Wherein if someone, you know, some people might do things in haste because they don't want to show that they don't know. But these guys with experience, they probably did that dumb shit already and said, nah, that's not the way to go. If you don't know something, you ask. All right? Same too with this truth. It says, oh, how comely is wisdom of old men, and understanding and counsel to men of honor. So if you're an honorable man, you're gonna love these things. You know, you're not gonna hate counsel, right? You're gonna love the counsel. You're gonna see, man, what can I learn? You know, I'm sure I'm gonna learn something insightful, and you're gonna be grateful of that counsel. All right. Hope you brothers are edified. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Kudash, that belongs to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to the hopefully elect out there. You Akim to Sadakim that do this thing, the most truth and sincerity. Shalom.